What's up, guys? I'm Anthony and welcome to Life with Anthony. Today, guys, we are going to get into story time number 2. Story number 2 takes place the same day as story time number 1 took place. This story revolves around my normal stacker operator. Now, just a reminder, my operator and me, we're working on a different press and have been for the past 3 weeks. With that press, normal stacker operator. But this Saturday that this story took place, that press normal stacker operator did not want to work, so my normal stacker operator was assigned to work the weekend. Now, there are 2 things that you need to know about this guy that are very important to understand in this story as the story progressed. The first thing is, this guy was demoted from road tender to a stacker operator. He pissed my operator off one night, my operator, because he was, look, the work was coming out bad, right? And he was yelling at my operator, hey, I need some water on the work, hey, this, that, and the other. And the operator wasn't doing what he wanted him to do. So he started taking pictures of the work. And my operator had to walk back there and caught him taking the pictures. My operator was so bad, boy. He came back there a little later on and was ranting on to me. That little SOB up there taking pictures of the work. And then he started ranting on about how the guy was demoted and this, that, and the other. No wonder he's not a rose in no more. I mean, he basically gave me the rundown of how this guy was demoted and why this guy was demoted from a road tender to a stacker operator. The second thing that you guys need to know about this guy is that he loves to be on his phone. I mean, this guy is on his phone all night, every night. He's FaceTiming his wife who's back in the country that he's from. I guess when it's daytime there is nighttime here or close to it or something like that. And even when he's not FaceTiming her, he is always on the phone. This guy, y'all not gonna believe this. This guy is so comfortable. He has his shoes off, his legs up on his little desk and everything. I mean, like he's at home on his living room sofa or something. So that's important. Those 2 things are very important to keep in mind. Now, moving on with the story, the way that the press, our normal press is, he can walk straight out and take his pallets out and put his load tags on. But the press that we were working on that Saturday, he has to come all the way around past my workstation to be able to pull his pallets out and then put his load tags on and then take it over to the staging area. Now, to him, that's an inconvenience for him because that's taking time away from him being able to sit down there and be on his phone with his legs up in the air and all this kind of stuff. And he had to do that like 15 to 20 times a night based on the run type of work we have in the length of the run. And it was just, like I said, it was a distraction, it was an inconvenience to him, you know? It's taking his time away from being on the phone. So for someone like me, nice guy like me, occasionally I would take his pallets out and put his load tags on for him. But we've worked on that press many, many times together, my operator, he and I. And he kinda expects me to do it now. You know, he doesn't ask, okay, Anthony, you know, are you gonna help me out with my pallets today? Blah, blah, blah. Now, this is what pissed me off that night with him. We were in the midst of running that bad pallet from story time number 2. And I had stepped away from the press. This was shortly before the operator realized that the work was bad. I stepped away from the press because I have a lot of freedom with my job. Once the press is rolling and the rolls are in the press, you know, I can pretty much go get something to eat, go to the bathroom, whatever. I have that time. But he, as a stacker operator, have to be there to monitor what's going on with that stacker operator, because something can happen at the drop of a dime and stop the press. So he needs to be there. So when I came back, this is what I saw him doing, guys. We have these yellow trash cans at the press, and some of them have cardboards on that we use for like a tabletop. This dude was pulling the trash can over to where you pull the pallets out. He placed his load tags on top of the trash can, and I'm thinking as I'm walking towards him like, what is he doing? This guy was setting up shop for me so that I can pull all his pallets out and put his load tags on and take the pallets over to the staging area. Boy, I got pissed immediately, because what that told me is this guy expects me to do his job for him today. I got back to where that trash can was. I pulled that trash can right back over to my workstation. I picked up those load tags. I went over to him. It was a table in between us. I said, come here. Come here. I said, now look, I don't mind helping you out sometimes when, if you have a problem with the stacker or something like that. But when you don't have a problem with the stacker, you can at least make an effort to pull some of the pallets out. I said, by you taking that trash can over there, you're expecting me to do your job for you, And then I said, last week when I worked with so-and-so, not once did I have to pull his pallets out. He came from around there each and every time. If I wanted to pull his pallets out, I could have. But not once did he not come around there and pull his own pallets out. I said, I'm not going to pull your pallets out or your load tags no more. I said, I'm going to do my job and you're going to do your job. Now that wasn't the exact words, because that happened like a week and a half, and y'all know my memory. But it was to that effect that, the other guy did his job, sort of like, why can't you do your job, And so he was like, okay. And then, no. He didn't say okay right away. He started saying this to me, guys. He was like, when I was a road man, I used to do this and I used to do that. I helped a guy out and this, that. I'm going to tell y'all now. It took every fiber in my body not to bust his ass down and let him know, I know how you were as a road man. You weren't it. You didn't help nobody. You stayed in the back behind that press and was on your phone all night, And that's what I tell you guys. It was said, to somebody who made a comment in the other video, Storytime1 video. It's not always good to let people know what you know about them. It's good to keep some things up here and use it when you need to use it, I could have tore him up, y'all. I could have tore him up, but I ain't want to embarrass him. I ain't want to, And then he was like, I told him, I'm not doing it for you anymore. And then he was scared. He said, okay. That's when he said, okay. Then he was scheduled to work with us Sunday past. And when I saw that on the schedule, I immediately said to myself, I ain't helping them do nothing. Because sometimes I got to talk myself into things and ahead of time and prep my mind, get my mind right, Because I'm a nice person, I could easily, when the time come, override that, and find myself helping them anyway when I was like, oh, damn, I said I wasn't going to help this punk no more. But yeah, that was the distraction that in Storytime number 1, the end of that story, that was the distraction that I had that neglected me from doing my job. And we had that bad work, which was to paginate, make sure the pages was in order. But because I had to deal with numbnuts that day, my God, he took my mind off of my job, and we had a whole mess of work that was wrong. But that's it, guys, for Storytime number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Storytime number 3. I actually have a 4th story, but I don't know if I want to put that out in the universe yet. But I think it would be a good story, though, because those of you who were following me when I first started this job will remember the incidents surrounding this story. But I'll see. Anyway, guys, that's a wrap for today's video. As always, thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys the next time.